Well, thank you so much for clicking onto this video today. I do appreciate you giving me just a few short minutes of your time, and I promise to make it worth your while. If you're looking for something inspirational or meaningful to talk about, well, I think you've come to the right place. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the 4 different kinds of dogs that you need to beware of. It might not be what you think. They're not literal dogs that we're going to be talking about, but they will come into the story here. You've seen these signs in different places posted about, beware of dog, and they're highly visible, or at least they should be, and it's meant to make you think twice about entering. It wants to make you aware and more alert that there are consequences to making the decision about going where you shouldn't. Okay, so this all plays into what we're going to be talking about. Listen to this very carefully. I think you'll like this. Upon entering a store, a man noticed a big "Beware of Dog" sign posted on the door. He continued cautiously until he noticed an old hound asleep on the floor near the cash register. Is that the dog we're supposed to beware of? He asked a worker behind the counter. Yep. That's him, the man replied. He doesn't look dangerous. Why do you need that sign? Because, the man explained, before I put it up, people kept tripping over him. Now, this dog here really seems quite harmless, doesn't he? But we never quite know. I work in the utilities industry, and I probably enter in upon several dozens of private properties every day to do my job. It's, there's a Florida statute that allows me to be able to do that. That doesn't stop people from posting "Beware of Dog" signs on their fences. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you go behind the fence and there's a vicious dog waiting for you. And other times there's a dog, but he just wants to lick you to death. And other times there's not any dog at all, but you just never quite know. But the sign does its job. It makes you think. It makes you more alert. Raises your level of awareness. And what I want to emphasize here is that the consequences could range anywhere from just simply tripping over a dog and being mauled by one. So there are 4 different kinds of dogs I really want to talk about, and you're going to think to yourself, well, Greg, you really could have use a lot of different examples here. Why did you pick these 4? Well, I have to make a confession. That's because I'm really guilty of all of these. So I know whereof I speak. I've had lots of time to think about it. You do that as you get to be older. So here are the 4 different kinds of dogs. There's the dogs of desperation. These are the animals that will run up on you and act irrationally and do a lot of damage because they seem to be motivated by instinct and compelled by their feelings. Now, at this point, we're not any longer talking about literal dogs. We're talking about your own personal struggle. And it is a struggle because when you act from a sense of neediness, mentally, what's going on in here is I want, I need, I have to have this or that or her or him, and I need everything to go the way I want it to go in order for things to be right in this world. But life has a way of not giving you what you want when you think you need it so bad. You act irrationally, illogically, and you end up forfeiting everything. Learn to not be so desperate, so needy. And the other thing about being desperate is it makes you appear less than confident, very insecure, and it's an unattractive characteristic. So that's the first one. The second one is the dog of discontent. These are the struggles you have in your life with trying to deal with not settling down and accepting your station, the cards that have been dealt to you. And instead of patiently playing your hand and accepting that sometimes there are wins and other times there are losses, all you do is complain and whine and talk about how things aren't fair. It's really leveling a complaint against God. You're not able to see that there might be an advantage to where you are with what little you have. Rather than being impatient, what one ought to do is just say, I'm going to be okay with where God has placed me, with what He has given me, until He's willing to give me more. Don't let the dogs of discontent trip you up. The third one is the dogs of determination. All right? The spirit of determination is quite commendable. There are many books, many videos made about, and even movies made about people who stuck their nose to the grindstone, and they worked things out, and they kept at it. And there were sacrifices that were made along the way, but they had a resolute spirit that we all kind of take our hat off to, and we say, I want to be like him or her. And all that is good. But there's one thing you have to be careful about. We have this common phrase or saying or whatever you want to call it, called we talk about dogged determination, don't we? That's when you will move forward despite all the dangers, all the consequences, and you have your eyes on the prize and nothing will stop you. Where you have to be careful with your determination is that you don't end up sacrificing the things that matter the most in life. And you will know what those things are by the time you get what you want, but you've left a trail of debris in your wake. These could be your children, your marriage, it could be your friends, your reputation. So while it's good to be determined and moving forward and disciplined, just be very careful about tripping over your own spirit of resolution about getting to where you want to go. The fourth dog I want to talk about is the dogs of derision. These are the people you might have in your life who see that you are determined and that you are trying to make strides and that you have a mission. It's very good to be mission-minded, which kind of goes along with my last point. But it's good to be mission-minded, but there are people who are not okay with what you're doing because they're not moving at the same pace themselves. They don't like the fact that you might actually be getting ahead in life, and what they'll do is they'll hold you in contempt. They'll mock you. They'll ridicule you. And if you listen to them long enough, you'll say, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe I should just kind of hang this up or do less or not spend as much time. Now, like I said, you do have to have a balance, because if you're too determined, you might lose the things that matter the most. But the people in your life that matter the most, or that should matter the most, aren't going to do this anyway. So don't let the dogs of derision trip you up or even maul you, because there's plenty of them out there, and oftentimes it's the ones that you might consider the closest to you. Give these things some thought, because eventually you'll run into every single one of these things along the way in life, regardless of what you're doing. Like I said, I could have picked a lot of other things, but in all honesty, I have also been guilty of everything I've just talked about here. But the point is to learn from them and do them less and less over time. I hope that's meant something to you. If it has, share this with somebody else. You might know somebody who needs to hear this. You notice on my shirt today, I have a dog. This is from Husky Beard and Grooming Company. If you like this shirt, go check it out. The link down below, and I'll save you some money on getting it. It's pretty cool. And there's some other things too you might like. But ruminate on these things. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. I would greatly appreciate it. I love getting your feedback. And I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, guys. Be wise.